years back, you be part of the team we bring the SLPP to power, we President Bill we win the 2018 election. And now again, you don't be part of the team. We likely will take them back to the next general election 2023 after another endorser back for being a flag bearer. Now, waiting na the achievements and we will able to say as a person will be a key player for bring this party into governance, and you don't serve na President Bill in administration for almost 4 years now. What you go proudly boast of say yes, I be the part of a team will succeed for bring me party in governance and my party don't dinner power for almost 4 years now. This is what we have done and I'm proud for see a day part of this team.
Very, very much proud. I can say this. I don't talk about several areas. I will talk about today for the people there again. Probably I don't know how people they appreciate it within the Western area now, but it's well appreciated right across the country because I experienced some and I know what it means. One of the main things that we go proud of. And
so why not talk about Western area? We host the seat of power.
With the candy, in terms of the level of appreciation, we come to the Western area. The Western area, by the special grace of God, we know now. Quite recently, we light not be there for 3 days. We know how people they are because we don't stabilize them and people are happy about that. But I'll talk about the free quality education. We cover the entire country. Me, I can always give the example. I was raised by a single mother with 8 kids. We began for work and struggle for pay school fee for each and every pick we began at school. I suffered the humiliation of being beaten in school. We will not pay school fees. When school open, they give una 3 days. They say una go. After 1 week, they begin to drive una. The next week, they begin to identify una, bring una can assembly. Anybody will not pay school fees, they trash you. They drive you back. You go to cry. If your parents cannot afford it, you don't come back to school. Many thousands of colleagues at that stage they begin for drop out of school as of that day. When President Bio come, we also get that kind of childhood. We get that kind of background. And look at and say, look, no parent will have to suffer again for make sure say they go struggle for raise school fees, for pay for their school for them picking away they did at school. People thought it was not doable. People they be even criticize outside the money they come on. But in less than 3 months when they elect him and they inaugurate as president in April, by June, July, the free quality education was launched. By 10 school they open, we started it off. Get a low criticism at the initial stage, but by the special grace of God, here we are today. And that don't resonate very well. If I were to go around the country, one of the main things, and sometimes I don't even speak about it, people they walk up to me. I remember 3 months ago, I be in Kabbalah, in one village. A young man walked up, one old pa walked up to me. He said, Pa, me, I get Boku picking away to school. I don't even know it's not school fees anymore. So anybody will say, if they come back again for change that particular thing, they will not go pray for them. So me, I don't care what they do to now. Those are the kind of things then. And then they na everlasting legacy. I tell you, Khadija, now President Bill, SLPP, many years, SLPP is not there around. Anybody we try for trial down there again, even the people of this country rise up against you. We go sit down here with people then, even with them dinner, we make it 2 man then, we people that on the street now, we then get a picking there. They see the benefit of them. They might not be saying it, maybe for political reasons, but everybody they see the benefit of them. And we, SSF, you wish to under me was on here. We school before this time round, before the launch of the free quality education, we school they open. You get how many people.
Fambo den una hadu una kusha una kabo. This na una bobo dima. Fambo den I just want highlight some key issues then before I give on the program. With Secretary General Umaru Napoleon Koroma it don't farm, confirm, and put some plans and mechanism in place to tell the whole Sierra Leoneans how we get for Bobo. The APC Tulongo to get Pambody. A beginner of us say congratulations, I really thanks everybody we appointed as re-elector, believer, say it will be the Secretary General for this party. Of course, it went unopposed. So it tell everybody thanks, SFPP all thanks. But however, what he make the game count sweet more is President Biobi don't see Idi Baba, the APC Tulongo to give somebody. Well, today the Secretary General, we Naina the master planner, himself he don't come now to counter Sierra Leone People's Party and the public how we get for mobilize the APC Tulongo to give somebody. Now, what do you need for do? You only need for share this program and also subscribe to this platform. Whenever we come on the YouTube platform, you will get a notification. Once again, this is Nadima the Great, the SLP Bobo. I thanks you now all. Well, I give you the main program. So we not self go hear from the horse's mouth.
Those of us who come from there. You know, people will call even to this extent. Hey, school up, no, be picking at this for pay, at this for do. Extremely well concerned commitment that we to the party. So people they come forward. That was very, very much, appreciative, and we be like now one day. So allow the process for flow naturally.
But at the end of the day, when this agreement begin come, we make them understand say the party big pass all. Nobody know the way they above the party. So the interest of the party for be the first. So at the end of the day, them people they are where they raise their concern and them, indeed like SLPP people them, through SLPP people them. So when we talk to them, we understand and they will be able to sit down and get a compromise and agree. But some of the areas will be very, very thorny. When you get to a point, they go back in the neck. The president called a meeting. We agree, say we should have a war formula, which is we bring on the parties the way they disagree on issues, then when they come together and compromise and agree on the type of executive where they want, that zone or that section or that constituency, so that at the end of the day, everybody will be inclusive and play a role for playing that process. And that process be going very well and everybody be acceptable.
So currently, everybody will be dissatisfied with the sectional and zonal elections and at the SLPP. Don't they in agreement now with the whole executive?
That's why we went to the delegate conference. That's why we have a new executive now. Of course, they agree. We don't get a new executive. We will continue the process of talking to each and every member of the party and every supporters and every well-wisher of the party. Because we need everybody on board. We need every hands on deck for 2023. We'll go for re-elect leader again overwhelmingly.
During them issues then day of the zonal executive elections, then when they come up, a lot of allegations and counter allegations then they come up. One of them now when they point finger upon certain people in the SLPP party will be all executive position then say they want for muzzle the party or they want for all the party by themselves. Just people who they support them and they be one for fixed a certain zonal position them. And so remember that the SLPPS, according to you, on a party leader, be able to call everybody on board, talk to them. But some certain people still feel aggrieved, say, I might not left the SLPP, but I go just they no more, not they participate in some of their activities there. So how na go able for bring everybody on board now that una don't get a new executive, and this particular executive they take on to the general elections where maybe if Salon people are satisfied with una stewardship, then go re-elect una again.
Thank you very much, Khadija. I mean, I agree with you. That's all in the past now. We are moving forward. But even before that, before we get to to the elections, we'll be NEC, we are the second highest decision making body, before set up a committee we'll call the Reconciliation Committee within the party, headed by Ambassador Joe Blair. And the one day the mission was to even go out, not only the one that now we get some issues with the lower level election, but even the one where we don't sit down quietly as a result of the fallout we get during 2017 and 18. Before talk to the bring come on board. And that committee don't be the only work, and the mandate has been expanded to reach out to each and everybody. We describe so now, and they're doing well. And I'll be pleased for seeing at this national delegate conference that people that we don't sit down for the last 3 years quiet, they participate. When our household names and the SLPP don't come on board fully, people like Banja Tijansi and others, they were all at the last NEC meeting and even the national delegates conference. This committee will continue for work. To start with, we are having our first national executive meeting this Saturday where they come. First on Friday, we're meeting with the leader of the party, where we'll discuss a couple of issues. Then Saturday, we'll have our first national executive meeting, in which those issues will be laid on the floor, and we'll definitely pursue them, because I can always tell people them the only asset of any serious asset of any political party are the people them, and the people them very very much important and paramount to us. So we will definitely not shy away from that. We'll continue, but I can tell you for sure that people that clearly within the SLPP membership understand say the SLPP is the focus here, and the SLPP is bigger than all of us, and they're ready to accept whatever moving forward. You've had statements from maybe the one that they contest, because all this issue about zonal sectional be the lead towards particular projects, and i.e. whether this the support, whether that need the support. Just after the election, we see, the gestures then from the losers then, particularly the chairmanship election. We saw some of the candidates already lost, come openly at the field, can congratulate the winner. And we also get a statement come up from one of the main contender, Mr. Jimmy Batilosonga, in which they affirm in commitment to serving the SLPP and remaining strong SLPP, and calling on all SLPP supporters that will be the BNM, saying they should stay steadfast and stay SLPP and focus on the party moving forward.
Since you don't take listeners then back to 2017, sorry, and you don't make mention of names like the Baja Tijansi and other people them way, everybody be no see they be don't stay away from the SLPP for a while now. But according to you, the conciliation committee way the party been set up to able for talk to some of them people there, so they don't come on board, and when they get on a first meeting this Saturday. What do you go say to people who believe say yes, the SLPP party they in governance, but not to the SLPP they in charge. Now a particular faction of the SLPP they call the power, now then they will not to the SLPP party.
Well, that's news to me. Tango Urana journalism when I get the news. We not SLPP, we're SLPP. And it's the SLPP that is ruling. It's the SLPP that is being headed by His Excellency Brigadier Julius Mada Buna, the leader, and we mean as Secretary General, and we Dr. Hadina, the chairman. There is only one SLPP. We formed in 1951, and there is still one SLPP, and that one SLPP will continue. Of course, those accusations and descriptions will always come in place based on people, their views and their perception, and maybe what thing they're interested in. But as far as we know, and as far as we're ready, the party is one, SLPP is one, which is why we cut across the country. We get representation at each and every corner of this country, and we get activities going on at each and every corner of this country. Every tribe, every group of people, every religion, every facet of society is represented in the SLPP. So there are no factions within the SLPP. Of course, during our last campaign, there was a slogan that we are coming to make sure that we the most relevant forward and nothing will stop in our way, which is what we still believe in, and that's what we are continuing to do.
So apart from the party getting the leader of the country currently, when President PU, how you would describe the functions of the SLPP as a whole itself? Because we don't want our delegates conference, they don't go on new assignments as executive. But for the past 3 years, I go explain to listeners and the functions of SLPP.
The party don't be the function. I mean, we structure starts from the sectional. We have sectional executive, we have zonal executive, we have constituency, district, region, and the national executive. At each level, we get the executives, and they always reach out to membership for make sure say they support the agenda of the government, or push forward and communicate the policies of the government to our people. And that has been going on effectively, even as we speak now. We're on the national midterm census. The party executive at every level they function effectively for make sure say people are being educated and spoken to for let them come out and participate in the census process. The free quality education, we get the party they participating effectively for make sure say it's been communicated. As a party also we cater as well for our own people. We come, for example, at the trying times, I mean last year, as a party, we decided to say, let's raise some funds and see how best we go for get some money together and do what we call a unity microcredit for cater for the most vulnerable of our membership, which we did, and we got for GAM to raise some funds as a party. We give them to one reputable local NGO, where then we do the implementation for we and they continue. And also as a party again, we decided to say, okay, since 1951, we this party already existed. We need for develop and get some few assets under the name of the party. So through party contributions entirely, we will get some money. We will refurbish we party headquarters right now. We also get the membership at different levels for say when I put resources together and get places them. Under the PPRC Act, the constitution, for it function as a political party, you forget offices across the country effectively. We don't need rented buildings and apartments and at different parts of the country. But as I speak to you now, every part of this country, the party membership, they come together, they put their resources together, they contribute and they start projects and for make sure say the SLPP is family planted across the country, in the north, the northeast, the south, the west, and the western region.
As you keep making mention of the party membership, where they clearly show say na member them na party, they make party able for strong and contest election and at the end of the day able for win. Since the 2018 elections, how best the SLPP don't try for bring on a members them together, especially people where we don't hold big position under the SLPP.
That's it. We the party, of course, the each and every apart from the party kind of power, the president is now ruling the country. Sierra Leone is made up of all political parties, including the opposition parties and everything. From the SLPP perspective, we have the political positions that with the president give on our political appointments and those who've been appointed in those political positions, each and every one they do your bit within they all come from constituencies, they come from areas and everything and the party always impress on them, forget back to their constituents and make sure, say, the policies of government reach out and how best they can be able for help those people that within their communities. And that's going on. And I can assure you, say, all the appointees, including my humble self, Wasidonaya, the area where I come from, I'm always there for make sure, say, what me do, for example, in your area, now a farming community, which I decide for do, I decide say, okay, let's go into large scale farming within this community. That resonates very well. We not only the one we bring a lot of young people them, they involved in the activities there, and we able to inspire many other people that within the community. With the tractorization we government became last year, people they don't forget about farming for a very long time. Some young man they don't go into bike riding and everything. We are inspired by the movement of them tractors there. So they go plow the bully land there, they plant the rice and everything. Now they don't harvest, they're even going into some other activities there. And that's going on and people appreciate that very much. So definitely as a party, and the one the way president appoint politically, we then believe say the party is the party now the umbrella for them. They contribute immensely for make sure say we continue for develop the membership of the party. And I can tell you the SLPP membership has become very, very much attractive and they expand on a daily basis. And every day we're receiving a wide range of people that will come in for register as members of the party, which we have now set up a full database and we're trying to digitalize it. And very soon when we process how we done them, we'll put it on a website where everybody in this country and around the world will get access with a click of a button. You go there and press and see how many members are in SLPP, which area they come up from, with even contact numbers.
So apart from people where the presidents give political appointments, so from the SLPP and the grassroots people where you don't talk about, now waiting on I don't do for unite on a party, especially for people way people are not referred to as patron members them way we not on the hear about anymore at the SLPP.
That's it. The SLPP is united. It's a one force. And I don't know if 19.1 began the coverage of the party activity in Abo. They see some old members then. We maybe a couple of times, even see them. We don't know even able, work up properly. Then get them picking them. They bring the cam directly in the field so they can see and participate in the process. And that committee they will follow. We also get the Council of Elders within the SLPP. This Council of Elders, we mandated them. They reach out to some of the very old members and now who are very much influential within their community. And they go, they sit down with them, they discuss. They want them. Now the member with the strong small, the Council of Elders with the strong small, they go, they sit down with their colleagues there, they discuss, talk about the party, and come again with some ideas and to we and advise we and the leadership of the party so that we go for continue implementing. I can tell you for sure, right across the country, the party not get any frictions. I can assure you from this point now. And that notwithstanding, the most interesting part of it again is how best we don't need penetrate within the northern region. We can for do we are the foundation stone of this party here. We have very, very strong families in the north. We are actually the founding fathers of this party here. We don't try to identify them. Some we don't little bit dormant for a while, but now we don't activate them very much, and they are all very much fully on board. They hold their own meetings, so we get conversation with them. We are moving that across because my idea of it was Israeli People's Party. We don't dig into the history. We know how this party had come about. We know the compromises. We know the arrangement. We know the arrangement where they set up for form this party. And that we're going to live to the dreams of our forefathers for bring this party out to each and every doorstep. It's not only about ruling out about government, but it's about taking this very fine ideology we people that conceived 70 years ago for continue to the next generation.
Talking about party unity and how much una as a party don't they work for bring all una members them on board for all una work as one. During the lower levels election, certain people then be they where una be expelled, where now Yusuf been signed that list they wanna been pulled out to the public due to some anti-party activity. Then now that una they on a unity journey, how much una don't try for look into them cases then they?
Well, actually, not to be expulsion, it'll be suspension. The letter I write was to suspend them for looking to the activity, which we did. In the last NEC meeting in Port Loco, there was a motion moved by one of the honorable members of parliament for make sure say all those who were suspended as a result of those activities be granted a blanket amnesty and for them be recalled back to the party. One prominent among them was the Honorable Afiju Kanja, in which a plea was made on his behalf. He participated in this last national delegate conference.
So everybody they on board now.
So very, very much and fully.
Just
Yeah,
after the 2018 election, we on assume power as a party, some changes then be happen now on our constitution or now on our party structures. We get for do with the president for be the leader of the party. We now one thing done the way other party they be do during the time when the SLPP be the now opposition. Una be so much criticized, but immediately una win elections, una do the same thing on our party structures then.
Well, the issue about criticism, I don't know about that because I'm not on record for that. I don't know who that be doing at that time. But I can assure you, say, if you don't study the history of the SLPP, where the Second Republic was established again, where political parties' activities and come back in 1996, when the SLPP was, reactivated again, we had a leader and the chairman of the party. The leader was elected in the person of Alaji Ahmed Tijan Kaba. We had Paul Domba, who was chairman. Later, we had Samabanya. Going forward on all the other chairman, the way they come thereafter. So there was always the issue about the old constitution of the SLPP. We had the leader of the party and we have the chairman of the party. That was the SLPP 1995 constitution. We did it clearly. And the reason was very much obvious. The chairman for doing the daily activities of the party and the leadership for provide the political instructions and direction of a political arrangement. We make them very much. That's best practices all over the world. It is there, and we studied on it effectively. But in 2010, what happened was there was an amendment made to the 1995 constitution in which the two offices now was blended. The brinker and the chairman and the leadership under one umbrella in the amended constitution of 2010. We had the agreement and it will continue until 2018, in which the general membership was calling all over the place we for do a constitutional amendment, which is why we delay with National Delegate Conference because we wanted to go to this National Delegate Conference under a new constitution. Right. So we get for table that proposal date, the NEC as required by law. We send on all the regions, all the districts, for they study and for 3 months. They study and for 3 months, and they come back, we call the National Delegate Conference. It was a unanimous decision by the party membership saying the two offices should be separated again for reflect what was obtaining before 2010. And once they agree on that, the delegate then pass on at the National Delegate Conference.
We will come back to you, continue further with inside the program. Umaru Napoleon Koroma, National Secretary General for the SLPP. The program challenge now the SLPP inside the past 3 years, despite the fact say now produce the government within power now.
Definitely, as a political party, now we're in power and we get the responsibility for cater for the entire population of this country. And the president, and the cabinet, and the government we put together, we're very much sure and satisfied about what they do in terms of laying down the policies and pushing down the agenda for them to develop this country. And, as you know, we see in the provision of the free quality education, provision of sustainable electricity, and so many other issues. But as a political party, definitely, when you come into governance, the expectations of your membership is very much high. And the party, we get the membership of the party, that we get the support base. They are ordinarily people who they support the party who are not registered member of the party, but they support the party. And they are also registered members of the party, from ordinary members to distinguished grand chief patron. Those ones, then they understand and they appreciate very much where the government, the president deliver some of the manifesto commitments. And the supporters, of course, they keep coming around and they try for, look for the gains of the party, and we encourage them. The party offices always they beam with our supporters and our people them are right across the country. And as I been say on Ali and Aya, those who president don't give responsibility. Many of them initially will come, we just they try for put themselves together. It be challenging. But as we go along the line, they able for put themselves together, able for understand, see it's about taking back the issues of development to their own people in the various constituencies in the areas where they come from, which they have now been engaged in. And in the last couple of years, we don't as a political party, we don't raining on them. We call meetings of them, we talk to them, we get conversation, and that is very much understandable. Now, a couple of times, even before this election, I could take upon myself for visit around the country, so many areas, and in some constituencies, for talk to them about their MPs, those where they give political appointment, where they come up from their area, and waiting at the relationship with the people. And the results inside the last, 1 year now going down, it don't be very, very much positive. But we only continue to encourage them, for let them continue on that trajectory, for make sure to say when will they go back towards the end of this year or to early next year, we campaign they start, it will be easier for we for talk to our people. So definitely as a political party, quote unquote, we are not in governance, but we still administer the party. We rely purely on our own membership and what the membership they contribute to the party for make sure say the party live and function. We're not living on we are in governance, we're not living on the government, we're not getting anything from the government Australia to the SLPP. All we rely on is with membership there, their contribution and their commitment to the party, where they continue for encourage them for what they do, which is why today we now get structures and they go around the country. We now get people and they contribute to party activities. We don't want for engage any activity, we get people that go for call on, we go for chipping and make sure say the party continue for function effectively.
3 years back, you be the part of the team we bring the SLPP to power, we President Bio be win the 2018 election. And now again, you don't be part of the team we likely go take them back to the next general election 2023 after another endorse am back for being a flag bearer. Now, waiting na the achievements and we will able to say as a person will be a key player for bring this party into governance, and you don't serve na President Bio in administration for almost 4 years now. What you go proudly boast of say yes, I be the part of a team will succeed for bring me party in governance and my party don't in power for almost 4 years now. This is what we have done and I'm proud for see a day part of this team.
Very, very much proud. But I can say this. I don't talk about several areas. I will talk about today for the people there again. Probably I don't know how people they appreciate it within the Western area now, but it's well appreciated right across the country because I experience them and I know what it means. One of the main thing that we me go proud of and
So
for
why
talk
not
about
talk about Western area? We host the seat of power.
with the candy in
Okay.
terms of the level of appreciation. We come to the Western area. The Western area, by the special grace of God, we know now quite recently we light not be there for 3 days. We know how people they are because we don't stabilize them and people are happy about that. But I'll talk about the free quality education. We cover the entire country. Me, was it on I can always give the example. I was raised by a single mother with 8 kids. We began for work and struggle for pay school fee for each and every pick we began at school. I suffered the humiliation of being beaten in school. We will not pay school fees. When school open, they give una 3 days. They say we'll go. After 1 week, they begin to drive una. The next week, they begin to identify una, bring una kind of assembly. Anybody who not pay school fees, they trash you. They drive you back. You go to cry. If your parents cannot afford it, you don't come back to school. Many thousands of colleagues at that stage they begin for drop out of school as of that day. When President Bio come, we also get that kind of childhood. We get that kind of background. And look at and say, look, no parent will have to suffer again for make sure say they go struggle for raise school fees for pay for their school for them picking away they did at school. People thought it was not doable. People they be even criticize outside the money they come on. But in less than 3 months when they elect him and they inaugurate as president in April, by June, July, the free quality education was launched. By the time school they open, we started it off. Get a low criticism at the initial stage, but by the special grace of God, here we are today. And that don't resonate very well. In fact, while they go around the country, one of the main things, and sometimes I don't even speak about it, people they walk up to we. I remember um, 3 months ago, I be in Kabbalah, one village. A young man walked up, one old pa walked up to me. He said, Pa, me, I get Boku picking away to school. I don't even know it's not school fees anymore. So anybody will say, If they come back again for change that particular thing, we no go agree for them. So me, I don't care to they do to now. Those are the kind of things then. And then they na everlasting legacy. I tell you, Khadija, now President Bill, SLPP, many years, SLPP is not there around. Anybody we try down there again, even the people of this country rise up against you. We go sit down here with people then, even with the dinner, we mark it then we people that in the street now, we then get a picking there. They see the benefit of them. They might not be saying it, maybe for political reasons, but everybody they see the benefit of them. And we, SSF, you will sit down there, me was sit down here. We school before this time round, before the launch of the free quality education, we school they open. You get extended family. You know how many people they call you from upline? Those of us who come from there. You know how many people they will call even within this western area and say, hey, school open me picking at this for pay, now this for do. How much are the money then? We they calculate, we they remit. Some of we, if we check what will be the gear out and what we don't save in savings for able for put in other areas, then you can't imagine that.
Mr.
So to me,
Napoleon, let's just hold you the quick. We come back because a very broad question that one day we did try for answer, but now 8:15 again now, and we need for take break.
Because money easy for loss, like how it easy for broke egg. You save not for life you couple business. So people they will not sabi. And one day we get ben. Union Trust Bank get all the correct and master sabi people them for help make you couple better. We na Union Trust Bank. Team up tiganga. So your money go fine with no wahala. And you no go get we kind service no other side. Make good use of we SMS alert where they show you your money transaction. Enjoy the internet banking services for check your accounts. Sef, you can visit our website on www.u.
To you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We will bring the program come to you this Tuesday morning. My name is Khadija Bangora.
And Mabel Kaba.
We still get Umaru Napoleon Koroma in the studio. We are the National Secretary General for the Salon People's Party. Today in the program, we they talk about issues them na the SLPP. As people know, then just come out do the national delegates conference. Also, they don't get a new executive for run the party for the next year. When they come back to you, Mr. Koma, we don't talk about a lot of issues. Them earlier, I ask you or some of the things them way you feel say you proud of as a member of a team where we work so hard for win the 2018 election and you they serve now this current administration. You don't talk about the free quality education where yes, most people know say now the flagship program of the SLPP and government still they try for implement although some challenges then they as you say they accept that one day. But again, being in power for almost 4 years, the citizens them way being given the mantle of leadership, wanna be get a contract with because as of then time then they wanna be present to them a manifesto. Wanna ask them say wanna vote for we. If wanna vote for we na then 10 years so we go able for do as a party. One of the major highlights them of them campaigning then are the issues that we be get for do with living condition of the people. The slogan be this the bread and butter issue. Now one day the way most people feel say the SLPP government not able for settle it as most people you talk to them will cry say hardship in the country.
Thank you very much. I've been going to the issues. Thank God you talk about the manifesto, and I'm happy. I will let Australians and go back to that document and take that document and read them and see many of the promises that we as SLPP make and compare to all the policies that we don't deliberately implement for make sure say we push that policy the through under the manifesto. Of course, the issue about the living condition it's not only about Australian anymore, it's a global thing. We all know, except able to understand. I mean, people that will refuse to understand for political reason, but we know the global pandemic. I mean, people can talk about with all the other issues than before. It only affected Australia and a few countries, which was the Ebola. But this was a pandemic which will affect the whole world, not only Australia, every corner of the world. We greatly affect certain things that within the country. And over the last period, we see how the Minister of Trade and Ministry of Communication, Information and Communication, they go around the country for explain things into people. We look at the issues people they talk about pricing of commodities and other things. Take for example, the businessman will be the import a container from China. 3 years ago for maybe pay $4,000-5,000 for a container. Now you know they only even pay higher price, but the container not even available. Now they will tell you if you ask the businessman there for a container, they may pay $5,000. They are now paying maybe like $10,000-15,000. That if you're available. Sometimes they even get a goods and pack there. If you have containers there for Bianca, because people don't know People only work, then they produce for that they bring out of the country. So you definitely go for those things and come up. That's happening. If you follow again the news and the global trend, even the great countries and the world powers and you see how things are they hike from one point to another as a result of the reduction of production in activities and as a result of the COVID restrictions that we put and the things that we know they happen. So naturally this, but I can tell you, say, on that notwithstanding, inside this pandemic here, we don't able for manage the government able for manage for make sure say the basic commodities that people they need within the country and who need around they are available. We not get the kind of situation we put them for Allah say we have a shortage of this not available, this not available. Of course, the pricing is being determined by how the market man and the market man they go buy and cancel. Government don't try for cushion and they by waiting. Look at the policies there, the tax policies that the government they do on the basic commodities there. Government they say, okay, when you bring can rise, all the customs, all the this way for pay, for pay again. We take them off so that when you come back again, you sell to the market at a price you put a go before afford. But the business people, the main idea is to maximize profit. When you reduce the tax, they come, they clear the goods again, they want for sell and for make profit out of it. But in terms of government policies, deliberately, government they undertake them policies and they for make sure say they able for stabilizing prices and they keep make sure say those commodities are not only available on the market but are available at a cost to people that go for afford within the country.
So then policies and the way they talk about how effective they don't be, because if the policies them really the work and the government they in control of issues, why thing them still expensive in the market, taking into consideration pepper, fish, and thing them where we dey get from Salonia. So we not get nothing for do with the global pandemic.
Well, you see, it comes to the Australians, we self naturally. Because they go plant pepper, you cut the pepper out and now it decide for selling the price we want. You see, price don't go up. Just like I say, again, now those are nothing the way they import. Now we grow them and we decide for sell them again. I mean, that's the economy and the free. Nobody, government. I don't think you want this situation where government go for go hold out woman where they go put line plazas in a market. They can't tell us if for sell at one you, if for sell around you by force. That comes to the Australians. We say Australian as a nation and as a country at this particular time. People that they make certain things that within this country are where maybe the production cost, not get too much capital intensive in the activities. But even as done again, why did it happen? Because of the reduction of production activity within the country. How many people did they go again for go do their activities that they compare to how they did before? Which is why quite recently, I'll tell you one indicator again. When last year government decided for issue the tractorization process, to say, no, go back. Many people don't let farming activity because one, some of the young men will be there, their villages will be doing the family, they don't left. Some they go ride Okada, some they go do other activities. Because the farm work don't become difficult for go brush, for go clean and everything. But when they see the tractors and go in, they begin to plow them bully land there. You see people moving back towards that. This year, if you walk across, if you don't move across this country, I will say the bully land there. I don't see any bully land one meet where empty, where they don't put rice there. The only challenge we'll get more, we have to do with the post-harvesting, which government also don't take over. Because just last week, I learned from the Ministry of Agriculture, say, they don't import combine harvesters and where they go for distribute to people, then where they plan the right, they go for harvester a meal and they go reach to the market. Those are the sustainable ways and for doing. But if we go buy in our other countries and for brand come back in this country, at the time pool they take and the transport cost they pay until they reach now the business number one for me profit will increase that. But if president's idea was that let everybody just farm, if just grow it they eat, for example, not even for sale. If you they grow it, they eat, me they grow it, they eat, they reduce for buying at the market, then the product, the cost will reduce because you're not going to go, more people are not going to go into the market again for go buy. But like I say, some of the things and then the policies then on the imported goods and then at the taxes area. On the one in Australia, you're not going to do with any issue of taxation. It has to do with maybe the Australians ourselves. We have to think about ourselves as a nation and as a country in a pandemic like this.
There are issues they all don't start for talk about. So now issues them we get for begin come up just not frequently because when you look at the political calendar, we slowly they go into politics stem them na salon from this year now for meet up next year 2023. Now discussion in this way get for come up now attend them way the SLPP they come back and give account or read the report card of the things they wouldn't feel safe for the past 5 years where the people that don't elect them into office they don't able for do. You don't try for give some of excuses we make things are hard now the country global pandemic according to you And self, you talk about the free quality education where you say now is successful now as a government. With all other issues them surrounding the SLPP government, allegation of corruption, audit report allegations, the way they inside and all, you think say some of their issues they are so convincing to the people of Sierra Leone for let them renew the contracts where they get to Tuna for the next 5 years again?
To start with, the pandemic is not an excuse. I mean, it's been saying we all see not to till we hide. It's open. Secondly, the question about allegations. I'm happy is the allegations, but the most important thing we appreciate about it is bringing the issues to the fore. We don't no that's not hidden. It's all in the open. When it come out, the public talk about them and how do we react to them. You recently, when the audit report come out, you see the press statement with the anti-corruption come up to it, and they say they are going to look into the audit report, and they are mandated too. Anybody who is responsible for go explain the issues why. Because if you look at the audit report, you get the auditor will say, at the time we'll go for this not be available. At the time we'll go for this document, the document will be available. We'll advise in future this and this time for happen going forward. There are times in this country we, government officials and in the previous government will say the audit report and mere opinion expressed is nothing important. But I'm happy now today's audit report, then people then they take them very seriously, and how we go for deal with them is also very, very much important to us as a government. In order come out, we go keep her under the table. In order come out, we go lay on a corner, we say important. As you come also, we don't get the body who responsible for that day for looking to them, and they say they go ask questions to people there. Waiting for those questions, and those people will go back again and respond, and those responses will be made known to the public. It's not about most of them get for the process issues them. Say this process was not followed, this one was not followed. Those are the issues that they want to know the responsible for the one, and they will call them and they will explain. If they explain, if it is acceptable to the body we're responsible for that, they will put out to the public. If it is not acceptable, the action will they get for take. And we're happy. We are no longer saying that they are mere opinion. We are now saying, in fact, people want for even saying now saying it's law. Immediately come on now, as they make the findings, they say that this would they recommend. People are now even saying, I for go after, and I for hold this, and I for hold that, and I for hold that. These are the Israelians now. We maybe a couple of years ago, say, these are mere opinion. We don't even need to look at them. But I'm happy we brought it to the fore, and we will continue in that processes. And at the end of the day, the proper processes then as we move ahead for digitalize some of the system there, for move from the paper system to the digital system. Some of the issues then they will be properly looked into and dealt with effectively. So that we'll get some of the issues and they come up again.
So as a nation, if we go back to the polls currently as we did talk, taking into consideration the situation on the ground,
President Bill will win over 70%. They haven't done a question.
On which basis you think say Salon people go give President Bill over 70% at this stage?
On the basis of which he don't deliver to the country.
I'm telling you, probably we need for the move around a little bit further for see what is happening around the country.
Moving around now one, but how much when they pay attention whilst when they move around to some of the key issues then to the conversation around waiting the citizen and we discuss, because you boldly they say if we're not going to the polls now, President Bill will win. When I really they pay attention to waiting the people and they say.
Definitely. That's why we move around. We listen to them and we pay attention to them.
And we respond to them. Slogans them around the wrong guy.
That's where that slogans they around from Wuka music then they like I say, it all depends on people's expectation. Everybody's expectation different. In my own area, for example, where we come from.
You know what our opposition is? Opposition is not about the political party. Our opposition is the roles that they suffer from. We want the roads them for be constructed. So they go for movie goods and for move villages and for Brancan at the town. This is not the first time in the history of this country. Where we say me come out from for over 70 or 80 years, where government will take tractor from Kabalati go to Yimfi. For example, people appreciate that they are along that line. They are not shouting about waiting the one African they talk about. That's their own issue. If you take Kabbalah to Krubola, what they cry about? Now road. And that's what government is looking into for make sure say they did that road. Go to Kono, the Kamiondo road. If you go talk to people along that road, they will tell you, all to one now, just help with this road. These are some of the issues then people they talk about.
So with you saying with over 70%, if we are to go back to the polls today,
yeah.
President Bill will get over 70% from citizens and we used to go vote them in.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the SLPP happy with the current situation of Salon people and we go make Dengue President Bill 70%?
SLP is happy so far with what the president has done and what the government is doing and the policy government only and the foundation will lay for develop this country, not only for we now but for generations to come.
All right, continue for the between at the studio, Umaru Napoleon Koroma,
Thank you.
the Secretary General for the SLPP. We will take short break and look at more issues.
Thank you.
Wall and block.
Vision. Very only with him in order to fight for Pakistan. But it's all part of him who don't work with the bag. So that was
Course one they release and then get
actually
The laws, he encourage them for work for the party, for let una ensure say una secure victory come 2023. Now una don't get a new executive. Waiting at the way forward, the plans, waiting will be una first target as a new executive of the Salon People's Party.
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier, we just come back from Bo. We don't forget we first national executive meeting, when at the inaugural meeting, we get on Saturday at the party headquarters, in which we the new one day we don't come, we don't join you on board. We'll go for welcome them, and from there we begin to set our plans for 2023. And definitely it's just natural. We're going to activate the party at all levels for make sure say they engage in the processes and the campaigning for re-elect His Excellency Brigadier Julius Maada Bio as President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. And definitely we make sure say the committees are all will be done set before by next we conference don't go approve, particularly the Peace and Reconciliation Committee, the Disciplinary Committee, they all therefore be very, very much fully, be put into use, effective for bring out those on board and make sure we maintain perfect discipline within the party. We have to go into that election well organized, well prepared, and well arranged. And we for able for do that name, we go for ensure we get proper discipline within the party. And definitely, like I say, 2023 is just around the corner, and thank God we'd already take the very first step by electing our leader, which is a process, and thereafter we process don't start for we effectively as a party. It's now putting into place the structures and with the responsible for make sure say all the activities that we plan for 2023 is being effectively implemented across the country.
How tolerant the SLPP party be?
SLPP party very, very more tolerant, and it's a party for the entire people of this country. Like you always go back to the history of the formation of this party. This party, they conceived at the north, it was based on compromises between the provincials and the colony people. The Creole, Timini, Limba, Mende, Soso, Fula, you name them. All the tribes in this country, all the religions in this country, they all come together in 1951. They say, no, we join together and form a party because the protectorate, there was a party formed here by Lamina Sanko, who was a Creole. We later convert himself, he's to Creole, he called himself countryman, and Lamina Sanko. They began a party, they began a protectorate assembly where they began their own organization where they come together. So they joined together and formed this party here. Right. It was based on that compromise. So they tolerate each and everybody, which is why, even in terms of political representation, today, if you check the political map of Australia, the Australian People's Party, the only political party, we get representation at each and every district in this country, with the exception of Bombali. But there is no district in Australia where SLPP not get representation. So the reason why
I ask how tolerant the SLPP be now, taking into consideration the fact that within a year from 2023, where we expect the country forget the next general election and the issue of political cross-carpeting, we not on the area from where the SLPP come into governance.
Cross-carpeting, other people they left other party for come to SLPP. Well, that's the SLPP. Definitely, that has been happening a lot. But I can't tell you, we know they behave like other political parties, and we will take people they candidate, they declare, and they put on social media.
So people have left them party, come the SLPP.
So many people. Give example so many people them from different political parties.
Give me example of names we don't left them political party, then join the SLPP.
The membership them we don't left political parties from the NGC, from the APC. They've come. We have the structure. We'll put it out when we are ready.
You know the Secretary General of the party.
Yeah.
And as somebody who run the secretariat, you're supposed to get data.
I have it.
Of all them people.
I have it, and I'll make it public when I'm ready.
Hold on, sir.
Thank you.
You from these statistics of them political cross-carpeting and in which percentage you go say from where the SLPP don't kind of power about 40%, or maybe 50% of politicians from other parties?
No, when that's not what is open. The party is open to membership. What we've been doing is our membership drive. So somebody can say, I'll be registered in this political party. You don't have to be maybe the former minister or the former, I know they try to talk about maybe former ministers, former councillor, former members of parliament of the other party coming over. That's not the point I'm making. We're talking about the membership drive. We're engaging our membership drive with the recruit members and for Kana party and everybody, people they come, they walk, say, I want for register in the party, but we belong to this political party. So yes, we register them and we'll give them our membership card. They will take what they get, they will keep them. So that's what we will be doing. And that's what we'll be working on quietly. I talked to just earlier, say very soon we'll complete our setting up our database to be made known public. And with a click of a button, you will know the membership structure of the party. In terms of the top level, which you're talking about, we are a tolerant political party. If today, person one for can join we, if you meet the requirement that we set out for membership within our party constitution, we'll gladly accept you.
Apart from being a tolerant party, let me look at strategies. How strategic is the SLPP, taking into consideration how crucial the 2023 elections, because when they go back for a second term, and it therefore be very crucial. Talking about strategies, how on a plan for maneuver for them at the top and continue for all the seats of power.
Khadija won the Secretary General of SLP for can discuss strategy 98.2 this morning. That's interesting. Khadija, when you come to my office, I will share with you the SLPP strategic plan. But anyway, that said, like I say, presently as we stand in terms of our strength, we are representing each and every district in this country in terms of political representation. We have a councillors and the district council chairmanship of Falaba, which is right at the corner of the north there. Yeah. You come down to Koinedugu, you come down to Tonkolili, you come down to Port Loko, come down to Cambia, you name the place, with the exception of Bombali. So it's just a matter of activating all of those cells, and the SLPP is moving forward. And that activity, this year, a lower level elections, if not be follow up, even in the north, areas that will before this time around for even get a proper executive, they have to go and encourage people. We saw the stiff competition, people then come forward for say, we want to vie and serve this party here. And those people are very, very, very much active and effective. We see them during the lower level election there, and we see the move that they make. And by the special grace of God, within the northern region, the northern circle, I personally, Umaru Napoleon Koroma, we hail from the northern region, Kwedalugu to be specific, are very, very much pleased with the activities of both the northeast and the northwestern region of the SLPP and the way the people that they gravitate towards this party here. And I'm going to continue in that drive, and I'm going to continue for take the SLPP and plant and deeply now in very root Usa is that.
All right, continue for the with you in the program. Umaru Napoleon Koroma, Secretary General for the SLPP. They come back to you, they take break.
Echo Bank,
foreign currency.
Marshall, disaster. Then they say I've been fire. I've been big fire. If I say this now hazard pro
disaster.
The delegate election woman, they of course be.
That's now the Director General for the Disaster Management Agency in a retired Lieutenant General Brahma Sisibi talk inside that interview with Mangi Mansaye. Also, if they explain about the plan them way the agency gets for handle disaster them if they happen inside this new year, we're in 2022.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. Come back to Umaru Napoleon Koroma from the SLPP. You'll be known to tell me about the outcome of una delegates conference when I've been just the Olabo and waiting at the way forward for the party after that conference day. So now take me through how the structures entirely at the party currently, especially taking into consideration the Gibi policy where they talk about women them, waiting at the woman representation at the SLPP executive currently.
Well, these are elections, of course, not be a delegate election. Women, they of course be run for a couple of positions and where they run for, but fortunately, they not be succeed. For example, we get a woman where they run for the position of deputy chairman of the party, but be win the election. He lost to Alaji Fode Kalon from Briwa Chiefdom in Bombali. But of course, you get the position of the women's leader and the national women's leader and the deputy when a woman name. You get the treasurer when a woman. We contested again. 2 women they be contest for that position. 1 woman win in the person of Matakanagbo. And the interesting one will be the financial secretary of the party. You get 3 men then plus 1 woman with a contest for that position. The woman will contest for that position. They just come in the race not too long ago, but you win overwhelmingly. That was very, very much impressive, and we don't trust all the finances of the party in the hands of a woman in the presence of Ambassador Francis. we come into the race at a very later part. So you win. Those are very strategic position. So in terms of the finances of the party, both the treasurer and the financial secretary of the party, now woman they carry that position. They control now the lifeblood of the party. So you go for CC, you go for the regulatory up there. The financial secretary say this, the treasurer back say Dandy. We go for really, really be in their hands, and I'm happy for Dandy. So that was it. And those are the position. I mean, other position and the deputy organizing secretary woman they run for and back. They got about a couple of 3 women there with they challenge the man and they, but they not be succeed. The person of Alasan George from the western area, and be win that position there. So we are very much good with that, and we get the issue about trusteeship position. Interesting for know that some of the trustees then will get, for example, in the western area, we have a trustee when a woman, Ishpan to CDB of the party, the trustees then at the hand, we put the party, the current and the future of the party in the hand. And the eastern region also, we have the trustee one, Helen Farmer when a woman, and the northern region as well. So all across the 5 regions and all the trustees that will represent the party, they get now 2 trustees in. We get 1 man, 1 woman for all of them positions in there. So we have about 10, 2 pound, no, about 14 2-pound region. We are the 7 regions. We get the SLPP UKI and we get the SLPP North America. And that's we will get 7 women that we are trustees in. We are all part of the national officers of the party. So if you put all together, we get about almost 13 women that we serve at the executive.
Now that I don't get this new executive, we're ready for take the party for the next 3 years. And normally in politics, when I get what you can call the strongholds of a certain political party.
So politics, so
side them away not to the SLPP stronghold. Una sabi side away not to una stronghold. How this new executive go make sure say una go into their area, then they win a stronghold of other political party, them for sell their ideology of the SLPP, for make people and see reason why they for support on a party.
That on day in motion already, even before we elect this executive, and we'll only continue for perfect that one day now for make sure see, like I tell you rightly so. Well, we talk about stronghold, people talk about the northern region, it's not the stronghold of the SLPP, but the northern region that did the SLPP born, they form the SLPP. We get very, very strong and traditional families in the part of that country. We the forefathers that formed this party here. Like I don't talk earlier again, we've reached out to many of them and they're all ready to come on board for make sure say the party with the forefathers and be planted in the northern region continue for flourish. So definitely we activities are very, very much alive, and we are going to continue for do that activities in penetrate. Already, Falaba, the district council chairman, the councillorship, and all other positions, and many of the positions they will get them. We get them, and we'll continue for penetrating areas, and they take calm down. Even up to Bombali, now we get the vice chairman of the party, Alaji, will come from Manjoro in Biroa Chiefdom in Bombali district. That in election, if they elect overwhelmingly, both south, northwest, and east, they all vote for him. So in for make sure say we continue for even penetrate Bombali. We one for call the heart of the APC. So we'll continue that. We'll sign not to perceive stronghold of the party.
How about Western area?
The Western area has always been a very support base. The Western area have a very traditional support base of the SLPP. And we'll continue for penetrate that.
Many thanks for joining the program this morning. Umaru Napoleon Koroma, National Secretary General for the SLPP. We'll get you as and when necessary for the update for the party.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Now, this edition of the program, good morning.
Thank you very much, followers of the Green Movement. And also, we get for end the program. What you need for do now, my brothers and sisters, then you get for share this program so the other neighbor inside will get this particular information. And what you get for do also, we they watch now for subscribe to the Green Movement. So whenever we do live, you will get the notification. Now the only thing you get for do now your contribution that you go do to share and also follow this particular the page on Facebook, the Green Movement, and also YouTube, because now on YouTube will be on. So you follow and subscribe to this page. Whenever we do live, you will get a notification. Well, now the game done we be don't talk and then this year me co-host DJ for the SLPP DJ and Madam Tenet Paka. We be don't highlighting key issues and the reason why President talk and do bio and not only get for Bobo, the APC Tulumbo Tuoge Pambody, a get for Babadem. President Bill don't talk. And me and you know, see President Bill na talk and do. We is say a talk, and whenever it say it do am, it happen. So we is say the Bobo them, and now you don't hear what Umaru Napoleon don't say. It says we go more or less APC Tulumbo Tuoge Pambody. The percentage of 70 within say 70%. So that we don't calculate already strategically, we already don't see them. So President B, what he talk a game over. So my family once again, this now on Baba Dima the Great. I believe see every good information with a day I will bring out for Una. So Una will share and Una get the message also and share also to your own brother and sisters then. And you members of the Sierra Leone People's Party, then say then and get up. And then we'll see this now the message from Umaru Napoleon, the Secretary General of the Sierra Leone People's Party. Titi will meet again. I will say Tata, that God bless we all. Wanna share and not forget to subscribe. Touch the notification button. Subscribe to the Green Movement. I will say Tata.